I'm ready. Fucker, straight ahead. front. Take this, you motherfuckers! Ha!
Go on looting. I'll cover. this shit.
top, they're gonna know I go at the top. Unless I hide screen. There's been shots down below. So that's where I'm like, mentally, I don't know what the best...
Oh, I know why you clicked on this video. You saw the title and you thought to yourself, ooh, I could get myself a little bit of money. Now, in many places in the world at the minute, we are living in a financial crisis. Money can be pretty hard to get hold of. You might have to resort to playing free demos on Steam or Roblox. The Fallout V-Bucks, the COD points for that Nicki Minaj skin, they're a little bit harder to come by nowadays. So if you'll hear me out, I have a job proposition. This applies to most people watching this video. And if you can survive my trial by fire, you will be rewarded with $1,000. So as you know, this right here is the slop channel. We put out slop. Sometimes it's daily slop, sometimes it's 2 times a day. Sometimes I kind of disappear for a week and don't really explain myself. But apart from that, we also have the main channel, Pyrocynical, the channel that I used to actually upload on pretty regularly a couple of years ago. And at the minute on that main channel, we are actually looking for a new main channel editor to join the team. This would be helping us with our current project at the minute, Fear and Hunger, but then also helping us with future projects going ahead. Now, I've heard you guys loud and clear. I totally understand. You want more main channel videos. You don't want one video once a year. You want more uploads. We are trying to work on that. But what I've realized is with the amount of editors we have at the minute, it's just not quick enough. We're not going to be able to put out the content fast enough and also keep it at a higher level of quality. So this is why I'm opening an application where you could apply to be an editor for the main channel. Now, there's going to be a lot of stages to this, a lot of processes to this. We're obviously going to have to go through every single edit, break everything down. But if you make it and you actually become an editor, you'll be getting a set salary and then also $1,000 as basically a sign-on bonus. Now, the reason why I've made this video and I wanted to like do an announcement and do like kind of a giveaway as well for, you know, the person that actually makes the cut is because most of the applications we've gone behind the scenes, maybe on Twitter at most. And I just feel like for an editor we need for the main channel, it doesn't open the market enough because, for example, there might be some editors that, you know, they might not actually be terminally online and they might not have a social media account or any kind of presence, something like that. I wanted to try and make this video to make it as applicable as possible because after Fear and Hunger's out the way, I did want to experiment with some other kind of videos as well. Some of you might have seen on my streams, but I actually go to Australia pretty soon. I'm going to be staying there for maybe up to a year. I just kind of wanted to, you know, do a little bit of traveling around the world before I hit Unk status. I hit 30, but I did want to try some other things aside from the overly long game reviews. Like, for example, you know, going back to the content that I used to make years and years ago. This could be based around films, TV shows, and even those kind of like, you know, one shoe off topic kind of videos I talk about. Like, for example, when Ninja, you know, when he was relevant, he released like a book. Whoever gets compliments in an online video game unless you're a girl? This never happens. I'd like to go back to those kinds of videos. I was thinking of incorporating them into Pyro Live. The problem is there, I just feel like the quality wouldn't be there. And also people probably wouldn't see it because we just put out so much slop on here. So yeah, basically the plan is hire someone else, hopefully one of you, and then expand the main channel into putting out more content more frequently. Now, I'm sure to anyone that has watched the main channel videos, you know that the editing process, even if you're not an editor, is not an easy feat. There are edits usually every couple of seconds. There are visual gags, visual jokes into a one-shot machine that can actually steamroll half the game. You could be the best editor known to man. You could have edited, I don't know, like No Country for Old Men and then Avengers Endgame. But if there's no comprehension there of like the comedic timing on the channel and the way that I kind of like voice scripts and stuff, unfortunately, that just wouldn't work. It has to be comedic timing and understanding of the channel and also obviously a good editor, hopefully. Hopefully you don't edit in Camtasia or something like that. So the 4 key things that we're looking for at the minute: someone with a great sense of pace and storytelling, someone with experience not only in video editing but also utilizing other creative software and combining them into the editing medium, like for example 3D assets. The third one, editing software. What kind of editing software do you have to use? We prefer Adobe, but you don't have to use Adobe. I know some of you old heads out there are still using, like, I don't know, Vegas Pro. That was the editing software that I used. I never actually used Adobe myself. Some people even use like DaVinci. There are a lot of editing softwares out there. We're not really too picky on which one you use, but we would definitely prefer if you used Adobe. But that doesn't exclude you from the competition in any way. And then fourth, which is really important as well, someone who can basically start work as soon as possible, as soon as we've said yes, has to be full-time and not working with anyone else. Really heavy on the last point. If you're, you know, part-time at uni or you've got some kind of job, then unfortunately we're not going to be able to collaborate. Now, this does sound really unfair. I totally understand that, but at the same time as well, we're wanting to put the main channel into high production, and we've looked at the statistics, the algorithms. It's basically impossible to put out these multi-hour long projects consistently if we hire someone who's incredibly talented and they, you know, they tick all the boxes, but they can only work with us a few hours a week. This also includes if you're an editor and you're working for other clients, this would be basically a solely full-time job. Below in the description, I have linked a Google Drive file. Down there, you'll find everything you need. You just fill out the form. We're really looking to have someone on board probably within the next week or so. It's going to take us a while to go over everything and obviously comb through all the results. The main example we're going to be using in the Drive file to pick people out is basically you'll be given a segment of audio and you will need to edit that in a style that fits or maybe even outperforms what we've provided as reference. I mean, you could even go back onto the older Pyro videos. I don't know, Cry of Fear, Cruelty Squad. Just give the older videos a watch and kind of learn the style. We're definitely looking for someone that can replicate that style, because again, you could be an amazing editor. We pick you up, but if the jigsaw piece doesn't really fit, unfortunately, again, it's not going to work out. You can submit any edits you've got to the Google form down below. There'll be a specific section as well for you to upload your own files. By the time that this video goes out, we're basically going to have the form open for a week, so that gives you enough time to hopefully chop something together, a couple of minutes of footage, and then we're going to close the form. And also to people that are watching this that for some reason made it to this point, even though you don't edit, you could share the video around to see if anyone else will pick up on it. So yeah, best of luck, and thank you for wanting to become a main channel editor. It's a great position. Imagine you work with me for 10 years and then you can afford a house that's the size of that the little cupboard that Harry Potter lives in the first film, the Dursleys. So yeah, this is a really important role. Usually the way that I look for editors is I'll go through other means, you know, I'll ask kind of friends of friends or people that I've spoken to, but this is like the first time where I think we're looking for an editor and we're actually making it as public as possible. I mean, originally I was actually going to stick this onto the main channel and do like kind of a throwaway video, delete it in 24 hours, but honestly, I didn't really want to do that. Preferably, I would much rather not put another video up on the main channel until Fear and Hunger's out. We've had enough kind of filler-esque videos there that I think we need to actually just stop uploading until we get Fear and Hunger out, and then we can focus on other things. So, you know, the one benefit of the Slop channel is being able to basically upload daily. So, you know, again, like I've said earlier, if any of you do edit, feel free to enter any editing software. I would definitely advise to go over the past videos, because we're hoping to hire someone who is, you know, a fan of the channel or they've enjoyed the content. And then because again, like, it's trying to understand that kind of comedic timing, that humor, all that kind of stuff, because you could be a very talented editor, like I've said before, but if the style isn't there, if it doesn't match with the channel or, you know, with the other editors, because you would be working with other editors, if it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb, then it just wouldn't really be compatible. In the same way as like an animated show, an animator that gets hired, they might have a completely unique style, but when they're hired into a project, they would try to replicate the lead animator's style to, you know, make sure there's some kind of consistency there. And one of the other reasons I put this on the channel as well is because, without a doubt, guaranteed, I'm going to get so much trash sent my way, so many garbage submissions. And I'm not saying like you're gonna make an attempt and it's like, oh, this sucks. No, I'm talking about there are gonna be people that will just link episodes of SpongeBob or some garbage. I can already see it. There are gonna be hundreds of applicants, maybe even thousands, that we're gonna have to sort through. And honestly, I was even like debating on, after this, I actually do another video in the future, like going over the applications on stream, like kind of the funny ones and stuff, that, you know, the ones that are just garbage. But obviously, you know, if you actually want the job, if you want to get placement in the company, I would probably not do that and take it a bit more seriously. And again, like I said earlier, there is only a week for you to make the edit before the applications get shot. That's a week when this video actually goes out today. So again, if you've got anyone that you know is an editor or be interested, because, you know, the earlier they could get into editing for the competition, the higher the chances they're going to have more time with it to tweak it, get that timing right, that editing right, and make something they're more happy with, instead of, you know, finding out out a day before the submission shot, and they've got to quickly put something together because that just sucks for everyone. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. Definitely something different, but we'll see. This video is probably going out while I'm packing for Australia right now, or on a plane to Australia. So yeah, hopefully when I land, I'll be able to go over the applications.
Hello, you gorgeous donuts. Today we're going to be reacting to Americans not